So what we have here is a second gen swap from Smitting Diesel. I went ahead and got their stainless steel one-piece manifold and their S464 billet turbo. And I said, why not? Might as well do the second gen swap. It's very common on these trucks and they sound great. So I'm either gonna put it on the truck now, or I might put the truck together first, just because it is in 100 pieces right now. So I'd rather not pull more off than I have to at the moment. So for now, I'm just going to open it all up and see what we're looking at.
So here's the manifold. Fucking gorgeous. And I got top mount. So it's gonna be in your face. Love that. Your filter. They even sent the cap for your oil fill cap. A bunch of other bolts and gaskets. You got your intercooler piping, the intake for the cold air. We got the downpipe over here, and big old spoolie boy. Yes, sir.
I'm starting the 2G swap. The coolant riser bullcrap ugliness is off. I went ahead and I went and got a heater hose fitting adapter, 3/4 inch. I cut the hose or the metal line right there, and I welded the little bung on it. And this is the side where the coolant tank went on, but now I'm gonna switch it to this one and then run this to the heater core on the firewall. So they both go to the same place, so it should not affect anything, and it didn't cost me anything but $12 at the auto parts store. So I got the turbo out. It wasn't too bad. Now I am working on getting this out. Now I don't have, well, my torch is out of propane and whatnot. So what I did is I just ran a thick bead of like nasty welds to build heat, and I had to grind it down just a little bit, but it got hot enough to where it broke it free. You don't want this breaking off inside the head. It's gonna be a bad day. So just a little bit of heat and it is able to come out and is ready for the plug. Okay, so I got the downpipe out and off the rest of the exhaust, and I'm cleaning up a little bit and trying to decide on what I want to do for my color scheme. So I'm pulling the valve cover off because I'm going to paint just the surrounding of the valve cover, and then also the turbo as well. So let's get that off. So I took my sanding block and in one direction with some first 180 and then 320 and then back to 180. I did the 320 step just to get the little imperfections out in the valve cover as much as possible. Now there is little tiny chips here and there, but it's whatever. The truck came with this, so it's a used valve cover on, so I'm just gonna make it look a little better. But top is brushed, and then oops. Now I just taped it off. I'm gonna tape the whole top of it off, and I'm gonna do this suspension color, so the brown, and then I will put the base, or I'll prime it, base coat it, clear it, or I'll prime it, base coat it, and then unpeel all the tape off and then clear coat the whole thing, so that way it'll be 100% protected. So And then for the turbo housing, I'm gonna sand the Smittings diesel logo smooth and brush it like I did the manifold. And I'm gonna tape off all of the shiny aluminum, and then I'm gonna paint this the suspension color and then wipe this clean. So this will be brushed with brown. So yeah. All right, it's pretty loud in here. I got the fan running, but like I said, I taped off the top, painting this my suspension color, and I went ahead and did the PCV valve, whatever, blow-by valve. I ended up doing the same thing, sanded, brushed, and then painted just around it, and then a bolt on top of the valve cover. And then the turbo, I'm going to be wiping the letters off because I brushed them with sandpaper. So it'll be the brown with the brushed. But yeah, once this base coat dries, I can go ahead and peel off all the tape and give it a good clear coat. I put the valve cover back on. It came out really nice. So now I gotta paint this one as well. I'm gonna brush this and then paint this. That way it all matches. Exhaust housing is on the manifold, got the bolts with the gaskets all set, ready to go in. I'm gonna put this thing inside. Got exhaust manifold and the exhaust housing on, but I think I was sent the wrong downpipe because that's connected to the exhaust down there and it's like a foot too short, so that sucks. To protect the paint, I used some heat tape. I triple layered it so it's got some thickness on it and rounded the edges so that way it looks somewhat decent, because that's where it gets really close to the manifold. I just spoke with Smitting Diesel, and I guess this isn't the high mount kit, so I'm gonna have to do some changes to make this a high mount kit because I don't want a low mount. I really want the turbo up because I think it looks really good up higher. So what I'm gonna have to do is, they're actually sending me a spacer for the exhaust housing to bolt to the manifold to get the turbo away from the manifold. Right now I have 1.25 inch long spacers and bolts holding it right here, so it either needs 1.5 inches of a spacer or 1 inch. I'm gonna try 1 inch first, and if I need to add another 1/2 inch, I can always weld the spacers together and whatnot. But if I do get, I'm gonna have to flip the camera over here. If I do get the inch, there's not really much room here, so I want to try and get it on with only 1 inch spacer. If I do, I'm gonna have to clock this upwards a little bit, but that's not really a problem. So it sucks that the words are upside down too. I would have really liked to be able to see the letters a lot more, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, with the downpipe, I'm gonna have to, what I figured out is if I cut it right here, I can twist this, and then I actually was sent the 4th gen front end boot, so he sent me the 5th gen one because the intercoolers are different. So I have the spare boot, so I'll use this elbow to reconnect those pieces together. So yeah, that's what I'm working with right now, and it's also really close to this plastic right here. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cut this plastic housing into 2 pieces and just heat wrap the wires right there and leave it at that and tuck the wires more up. But I do have a exhaust blanket for the exhaust housing. So yeah, trying to make something fit that really isn't supposed to fit, I guess. I got the turbo spacers in and they're on. So I got everything pretty much buttoned up. Oil drain line, oil pickup line, exhaust, downpipe. It's still not connected down at the bottom fully. It's loose at the bottom, but I got everything tightened up here. These are tight. Got no clamps on the bottom down there yet, but I shouldn't have to use that just to do a first start. So I am attempting the first start. I ended up having to change this boot out. It was just a little too short, so I cut up a longer one and I threw the blanket on there just to see how she looks. But man, I can't wait to drive this thing. It looks so good. It sounds so good. I'm sure it probably will drive really good too. But I've been at this for like 3 days straight on this turbo. It's now 2 o'clock in the morning. Last night was 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just long nights, but it's worth it. It's about time to get going on the bodywork for this truck, because there's one little dent right there I need to take care of, and then other than that, it's just gonna be a quick sand and go. So we'll not for that before I close the hood for the night. So it is finally all secured down. Went ahead and put the intake on. I didn't put the 2 hose clamps on this yet because I'm probably going to be brushing this and then clearing it to match all the other aluminum pieces I have. But that's gonna end it for the 2nd gen swap part of this series. Again, if you guys like how this build's coming out and you want to keep watching it, please do subscribe, like, and see you in the next one.
Check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend.